Hello and welcome to Outdoor Projects Unlimited. Today we're going to change a bad breaker in this panel. We're going to do it with the panel hot, so I don't have to shut everything down in the house. And we're just going to go through that real quick. But this breaker has been messing up. We lost power the other night and I had to get the generator out. And this breaker's done this a couple of times. When you go to reset it, there's something in the trip mechanism inside that's messed up, whether it be the spring or the contact inside the breaker. So I had some old brand new breakers left over from when I built the house. So we're gonna change one of them today, change one of them out in here, and we're just gonna go through that real quick. Okay, here's the breaker right here. This is the bad one. Now if you'll notice, like, it's got this spot here where it kind of wants to set in the trip mode. Now I can get it to shut off. When I turn it back on, it's like it instantly trips. And there's nothing on in the bathroom up there, so I don't think there's any kind of issue there. I think it's in the mechanical. It's mechanical in the inside of the breaker. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shut this one off, and then we're going to get this panel. We're going to take this panel off. It's the first thing we're going to do. In one motion. Okay, boys, now we're getting down to it. Okay, a little bit of background here. What you have is you have the main breaker in the top. Okay, this is where your power comes in right here from your meter socket that's outside of the house. This is where your power comes in. You have a hot, and a neutral right there. This is your main breaker. These breakers here are what they call a double pole breaker with the connector on them, which these breakers put out 230 volts. Okay. All these breakers are single pole breakers, which these are all going to be 120. If you look at the way, well, it's got that plastic insulator on there, but the way, this is called the bus bar. But the way these bus bars are created, the way they're made, is because what you have is two lines of 120 here with your hots. So the way the bus bar is made, it is made so that if you put a double pole breaker on, it's going to catch one bus bar. One's this bus bar is this leg, and the other leg comes right underneath it, and so on and so forth the whole way down the bus bar. So if you put a double pole breaker in, you're going to get 230 volts out. Like this is for the water pump, and this is for my barn. This is for my upper garage. So I'm putting 230 to all those things, and going to, you know, like the barn and the garage, it goes to another sub panel. But these here are going to be all your 120 volt breakers. This breaker here is the breaker that I keep for the generator. And how this works is I have a cord right here with the generator full output plug on it. So if I lose power, all I got to do is wheel the generator out, plug that into the generator, start it up, turn this breaker on. It back feeds the panel, but you must turn the main breaker off. Okay, turn the main breaker off so that if the power does come back on, you can't back feed and you'll blow up your generator. So in the event of a power outage, I turn this off, turn this generator breaker on, and then I have a paper here that I keep with the circuits that I run when the generator's running. And usually I just run out and see if the neighbors have power, and then I know the power's back on and I shut the generator off. But you can also check right here with the meter at the top of the panel. If the power's back on, you'll have power right here at the top where it comes in. Now if I check that right now, I should have 230 volts up there at the top of the breaker right here. Okay, I got 243 volts. So when you turn the breaker on, it puts the power down. You can see where it's bolted to the bus bars. It puts the power down to the bus bars. So you want to make sure that your generator breaker is off and unhooked when you turn this power back on. This is the one here that's bad. So what you want to do is take a multimeter. They also have them little electrical testers. You can test and make sure there's voltage, or see if there's voltage there. So we're going to take this multimeter. We're going to clip it on here. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to check and make sure that that breaker has no power coming out of it. Now, what you can do is you can either get on your bus bar, or you can just hook to the metal here. And okay, that's a breaker below. That's a breaker below 121.6. This is the breaker right here. As you can see, there's nothing coming out of that. Now I'm going to turn this on and we'll check it again. See, it kind of just goes instantly to trip. So we're going to check it again. Okay, see, that's it right there. There's nothing coming out of that breaker. Okay. So what we're going to do to isolate it and make sure that it isn't something in the house causing the breaker to instantly trip, here's what we're going to do. We're going to unhook the wire, then turn the breaker on and see what it does. So you want to loosen this up. Okay. And what you want to do is carefully pull this wire out and just kind of bend it out of the way for right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this breaker back on. See, it instantly trips. So there's something mechanically wrong with this breaker, but let's check it here and make sure. Okay, there's nothing there. One above it, we got 121. One below it, we got 121. So what we're going to do now is you just kind of want to make sure this wire's up out of the road for the moment, for the time being, because you don't want it touching anything else. At this point, we're going to turn it off. And what you want to do is, I'll show you how these are made in a minute. The easiest way, sometimes these things get knocked on there pretty good. Okay, we're going to take a piece of wood, and this is the breaker right here, so we're going to knock it off of that clip that's in there. Sometimes they get kind of frozen in clips. Okay, there we go. So now this breaker, you take it, you draw it out. If you can see on this breaker, when you put these breakers in, you put them on the rail. They just want a piece. You put them on the rail, and then this here clips in on the bus bar, clips in on that part. So you put it in, clip it down. So we're going to put the new one in now, and see how it goes in. This is the new one here. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. If I get shocked, you'll see it on the video. All right, put that right in like that, and that fits in tight, nice and tight. Okay, and you leave this off so that at the end of this here, it will not be hot until you turn the switch on. So now what we're going to do is carefully bend the wire back down into position without touching anything else. Okay, bend this back down in position, put it into the socket here. And then we're going to tighten this up. Make sure it's pushed in the whole way. Okay, that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the switch and check the power again. Put this in there so you guys can see it. Come on, what the heck's going on here? All right. Okay, I'll turn the light on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, once again, we can just get on the case here. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. See what we got. Okay, we got 121 volts coming out. I'm going to shut it off. There she's off. Back on. All right. She should be good to go. Put the panel back on. The easiest way is kind of open the door up, because these are all set to fit your breakers. So open the door up carefully. Carefully. Line it up. Line it up best you can. Line it up. And then we get a couple screws in it. Looks like a good candidate. I'm not going to tighten them down the whole way yet, because I might have to move the panel around a little bit to get the other screws in line. Let's look and make sure everything looks good here. Good shape. Okay, hopefully that helps somebody out if they got to change one of these. It's not too bad. Just be careful. You know, don't put your hand somewhere where you ain't supposed to, and check voltages. You know, and when you're changing it, and make sure that the breaker you're pulling out is in fact not putting any voltage out. And hopefully this helps somebody out, and thanks for watching, and I guess we'll go see what else we can get into for today.